Tacitus wasn't there, and I don't think any of the eyewitnesses that Justin mentioned were actual eyewitnesses. I believe, from my own research, if I'm not mistaken, they all came after the fact. People writing about Christians is not evidence of Christ being resurrected from the grave and ascending to heaven. Evidence for Christians is evidence for Christians, not evidence for Christ. The fact that people need to know how, I believe one of the letters was, how should I deal with this new tribe of Christians? That's not evidence for Christ. That's evidence that they, like many of you, believe the myth. As far as slavery not making any comment, I mean, as far as atheism not making comments on slavery, I really wish you would get this right. Atheism has no content. It has no central dogma. It has no clergy. Atheism is not a collection of people. It doesn't say no to... You can be an immoral person and be an atheist. You're no less of an atheist than I am, as long as you reject a deity. And as far as giving instructions, and that's an excuse for not saying that saying God gave us instructions to live, that's not an explanation for why He didn't give us good instructions on how to live. Well, what if you were going to rob a bank and I worked at a bank and you said, Joseph, I need to know how to get to this bank and get the money and get out, and I knew you were going to rob the bank and I gave you instructions on how to do it? Would that make my actions moral? Would that make the actions of the thief redeemable? Would it fly when the authorities confronted me about my foreknowledge of the incident? No. Giving instructions on how to buy, sell slaves, who you can buy them from, how long you can keep them, how to brand a slave as a slave for life by holding their family at ransom, because you could only keep a slave for so long in the Bible. After, I believe, about 6 or 7 years, you had to set them free. But if they had any family, if you had a slave who was a man and he married the woman and had children, then the slave was free. If you wanted to see his family again, he had to come back and say, oh no, I love the master. I want to be physically branded as a slave for life. Are these the instructions from the God the holy God whose moral injunctions are objective and good and that we should all abide by them? That is not an excuse. And again, if this God did, I don't not believe in God because I don't like Him. I'm against God because I don't like Him. If He did exist, I wouldn't prostrate myself in front of Him. That is all I'm saying. I don't choose what I believe based on what suits me. You can think what you want. I choose my attitude toward that based on my judgment of it. Again, atheism is not meant to explain anything. It is freedom from religion. Atheists can succumb to immoral dogmas. In fact, they often do. Many leaders of communist countries are notoriously atheists, and so the atheist is left to deflect accusations of communism. It's guilt by association. It's not a specific set of beliefs. It is a lack of belief, and after that, where you go is your business. You're either moral or you're immoral. You're no less of an atheist. The Kalam argument. I think that changing everything that exists has a cause to everything that begins to exist has a cause doesn't redeem the argument. It could just as easily be something that is not God that caused something to be. It's an assumption to say, no, it's God, and by the way, it's my favorite God. These categories that I'm not taking into consideration, timeless, holy, beyond the universe, omnipotent, omniscient, where are you deriving these categories from? A delicate balance does not mean that something is finely tuned. It means that life evolved under certain conditions, and if it deviates from those strict conditions, it will die. If I saw a convertible, yes, I would think that someone created a convertible. Again, this is common sense. Humans are fallible. They don't create perfect. We're not perfect engineers. Neither is God, apparently. My jaw isn't big enough for all my teeth. He gives dolphins, two holes, one for eating, one for breathing. That's not a hard request. By designing us, those He loves so much, He sent His only begotten Son to die. He gives us, we eat and breathe through the same hole, ensuring that many of us will choke to death every year. This is the design of a perfect God. No, humans can't create a perfect car that has plenty of room and that won't scratch. But if a God were creating a car, I would expect nothing less. again, Tacitus gave evidence for Christians. Clement, I don't think, was there. And I don't think any of the people. I would like an eyewitness outside of the Bible that testifies to the resurrection of Jesus. And then why we should believe this eyewitness testimony of someone breaking the laws of physics in your favor. And yeah, that's that.